And the main story tonight, and this is crazy when I read this, the LGBTQ extremists have been extremely busy lately. And I want to be clear. I'm expressly saying extremists because this does not represent everybody in the LGBT community. During the entire month of June and these pride celebrations, they are absolutely everywhere. Drag queens are speaking on behalf of the U.S. Navy now for some weird reason. Some are forcing our children to read and watch sexually charged material. They're running through rainbow archways in school and tons of other stuff. They're honored at the White House. And if this wasn't enough proof that they're equal and even special status in society, America's largest lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer civil rights organization, called the Human Rights Campaign, has declared a national state of emergency for members of the LGBTQ+ community. Right. Now, the group's president, Kelly Robinson, said LGBTQ+ Americans are living in a state of emergency. The multiplying threats facing millions in our community are not just perceived, they are real and tangible and dangerous. Now, the organization tweeted this today, actually. For the first time ever, we're declaring a national state of emergency as LGBTQ Americans face extremist attempts to roll back our rights. It's more important than ever before that we have the necessary resources to stay safe no matter where we are. Yeah, just ask Jussie Smollett. But seriously, what rights are they talking about being rolled back? Let's be specific. Who's taking away rights? Parents who don't want scantily dressed drag queens twerking in our 5-year-old's face? That's not a right. In fact, you know what? Name me one right that this community doesn't enjoy that everyone else does. Any? No, you see, extremists in the LGBTQ community and then in the movement like this are not advocating for equality. They're advocating for special treatment. And given how brazen this group is, and an ever-growing wing of this community has become, and they're more openly aggressive against anyone who even disagrees with their radical social justice campaign. I would argue this wing of the LGBTQ alphabet community is hijacking and perpetuating more hostility and more hostile behavior than anyone else. Remember, most Americans, folks, like myself included here, we couldn't care less who you sleep with, how many pronouns you use, what you chop off, what you sew on. Don't care. We just don't want you pushing this crap on our kids every single day in school. It's those radicals, though, in the alphabet community who go on the attack if anyone even doesn't celebrate their way of life. Not the other way around. Remember when Target put weird tuck-friendly trans stuff in the kids aisle? People like me, and you at home most likely, peacefully made our voices heard and stopped shopping there. As a result, the clothes were moved to the back of the store after they lost billions of dollars in market cap. And it was radical LGBTQ members who called in 3 separate bomb threats, not people like me. It was a trans shooter that targeted a Christian school recently, not a peep from the so eloquently named Human Rights Campaign. They're not in defense of Christian students and the teachers who were murdered, no. The same group that provided no defense to Catholics when the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence were twerking on a cross almost nude in public. No. Despite how massively offensive that is to me, I'm not allowed to say it. I can't say anything. Yet you want a state of emergency because you're under attack? No. You can do whatever you want. You can violate any social norm, and I'm not allowed to disagree with you, or you play victim, and I'm the bad guy. No way, Kimosabe, not here. That's not a state of emergency. That's called free speech. I'm free to disagree with you. At least I thought I was. The police in Reading, Pennsylvania don't. They hauled away a man peacefully preaching Bible verses across the street from a pride parade on public property. You want to talk about rights? What about his First Amendment rights? Hope this is litigated. Look, the entire month of June is treated like a free pass to push these crazy views on me. But I haven't seen one of these radical LGBTQ organizations say one thing about the 79th anniversary of D-Day, where my fellow veterans, my group, lied about their age to storm the beaches in France. Almost certain death was waiting for them. They did that to beat the very fascism that you claim that I represent. No, you are wrong. Those guys who died actually beat fascism. They get one day, Memorial Day. The rest of us, like me, who came home alive, we get one day, Veterans Day. Jesus gets 2 days, gets Christmas and Easter. And you want to lecture me during your entire month that someone who fought for your rights, by the way, which I continue to defend, to do whatever you want outside of my children, you want to say that I'm causing you to claim that there's a state of emergency? Man, you have lived a sheltered life. And I'll leave you with this. And for the left-wing nuts who might criticize my sentiment here, I don't care who you are or what you do, who you sleep with, or any of that stuff. I support your right to be whoever you want. But you can't force me to celebrate it, nor buy from companies who do. That's my right. I fought for that. And when any group tries to take that away from me or anybody else, especially my kids, that's when I put my foot down. Joining me now to discuss, the founder of Gays Against Groomers, Jaimee Michelle. Jaimee, appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm really glad to be on today because I got to say that was probably the best monologue I've ever heard.
I agree
with every single word, and that's exactly how I feel and everybody in Gays Against Groomers and the millions of LGBT and T people we represent. You know, this is the Human Rights Campaign coming out saying that there's a state of emergency for people like me in this country. First of all, I've never seen gaslighting at a level like this. I mean, maybe back in the pandemic, but this is really reaching new levels. You know, we're fine. I'm totally fine. I have every right, the same rights as you do. You know, we fought for that. It was a just fight and we won. As far as I'm concerned, we were ready to pack it up and go back home and just live our lives, you know. But you're totally right. You know, it's not about equality anymore. The alphabet mafia wants supremacy. They want everybody to bow down to them. And, you know, they're hiding pedophiles and groomers in our community now to be able to attack kids without pushback, because that's essentially what it is. You know, you can't criticize these people if they claim they're part of this community. But we're here to say no, and that we're not going to let them. And the only state of emergency is really that against kids. The kids are in a state of emergency because they are falling victim to this evil agenda. More and more of them every day.
Yeah, well, we actually reached out to a number of people that are on the more extreme side of the LGBT community, and they wanted to call me a fascist. I will never appear on TV with a fascist. And I'm sitting there thinking to them, it's like, I'm literally offering you a platform for free speech, and you're the ones criticizing us. And this is the general problem: is they push this narrative from, you know, a one-sided monolith, and then they won't discuss the actual merits of their ideas. How do people like you feel about this hijacked wing for a community that honestly has been a live and let live community for just as long as I've been alive, probably?
Yeah, I mean, we absolutely hate it. You know, I started Gays Against Groomers. This is actually our 1-year anniversary. I launched Gays Against Groomers 1 year ago today. And our mission has always been twofold. You know, it's to first and foremost protect these kids, but also to save ourselves from these radical extremists that have hijacked our community. And what you said in your monologue was absolutely right. I mean, if our rights ever do get rolled back, it will be because of these people attacking children in our name, and we absolutely despise it. We never consented to this. We're not on board with it. We're against it just as much as everybody else that any moral person in this society. And yeah, it's atrocious, and we hate being associated with these people because they are giving us all a bad name, and we strongly oppose it.
So, Jaimee, let me kind of expand this. Like, you know, obviously the evolution of the gay community in society has not been easy going back to the 60s and 70s. How did these other, like the plus and the elemental P and the cosine or whatever these other things are at the end, how did they get tacked on to something that people like yourself, who are just, you know, ordinary citizens who just happen to sleep with different people, get tacked into a group that is so crazy sometimes?
Well, I think what happened is that they saw that, okay, we got our rights, and then they saw the money kind of dry up. They're like, oh my God, how do I remain a victim? Because victimhood is a form of currency in this country, you know? Oppression makes money. So I think that they threw all these other people into our little umbrella without ever really asking us. I mean, I was never asked if I wanted that to happen, you know, to just remain a permanent victim class in this country, even though that's not true. I mean, I ask all the time, what is a trans right? What is a right that trans people do not have in this country? And no, sterilizing and mutilating children is not a right. Sexualizing children is not a right. I'm sorry, like, you know, it's absolutely insane. And like I said, it's just gaslighting. It's not true at all.
Exactly. Jaimee, real quick, tell us about your organization. I know it's a year old. You know, what are you out there on the trail doing right now?
Well, we're 1 year old today. We're launching new chapters all the time. We have, I think, 18 chapters now. We've testified on over a dozen bills, helped get legislation, child protection laws put in place in 13 states so far. We're going international. We have a chapter in Canada. We're launching the UK soon. And yeah, we're just, full steam ahead until this agenda is over. They try and silence us. We've been banned from 11 platforms and companies. But, that just shows that I think they see us as their biggest threat, because I don't think they expected people from inside the community to speak out against it. They can't label us, as hateful bigots in the same way as you. And so it's a problem for them, and we're glad to be one for them.
Right. Well, I'm surprised you just don't claim victim status against those guys. That might be the way to do it.
I mean, isn't it discrimination? I'm confused. We are a protected class in this country, and that's actual discrimination. We are a group of only LGBT people, and we are constantly discriminated against. So it's interesting. Yeah.
No, as a gun owner who's also significantly discriminated, I get your plight. Look, Jaimee, I really appreciate you coming on. I love what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Carl. Have a good one.
You too.